Hello again, everyone. This is Randy, your Saw Machine Man, and what we're looking at today is a new home, and sometimes it's going to have the Janome label on it. Sometimes it's going to say Memory Craft. Sometimes it'll say Kenmore 385 series, because they're all basically the same machine, but they're good little machines. This one is the front load, rather, not front load, but a top load drop in like a 385. And of course, this has about the same situations as a 385. If you buy one of these used, it's been sitting somewhere for a long time, the things you're going to need to know about it is that it's not going to reverse, because underneath, I showed you in another video, down underneath here, you have that apparatus that goes left and right and slides the cam over to make it cycle into reverse. Well, it does now, because of course I took it all apart, cleaned it, serviced it, put it all back together. And of course, what you'll always have with this model also is that your patterns, you can click this up, click it up, but it won't do the pattern because it's stuck on one or the other. So what you have to do is take the bottom off, and there's 8 screws on the bottom to take the bottom off, and then you have to get some good old handy dandy, what we always use, super penetrant spray, and the slides and anything that pivots, rotates, hinges, or slides. It's going to need a little bit of that penetrating oil because it's been sitting a long time, and sometimes it'll have that white grease on it, and that grease hardens up and gets to be like a glue after a while. So you have to service all that. Now, this one, I turn it now, it's on straight stitch. I can click up here to zigzag, put it on zigzag, and lo and behold, it zigzags and back stitches, because you just got to know where to put the oil. When you get these things, keep the screwdrivers away from them. You don't have to get any screwdrivers near them. Just be patient. Use your penetrating oil. Every place something hinges, slides, rotates, or pivots, give it a drop of either oil. Up in here, put penetrating oil up there. It's not necessary because all this is going to be ready to go. You take the top off. You got a screw here. Got a screw there. You got these 2 screws on the side. This rotates out and the whole top lifts off. You can put a drop of oil, just a drop, on your bobbin winder. And one good thing about these machines people like is that you don't have to disengage the hand wheel clutch with your hand. If you don't have the strength, you pull out on that, and it starts winding the bobbin that way. And of course, the bobbin winds, like I showed you in the last video. You take it over, around the guide, then over, put the thread up through, and hold on to it. So it's got everything is pretty much standard. This was a very nice high-end machine. This was not a cheap machine. It was very expensive. And the people that bought them tended to take real good care of them, which is the case with this one. This is in real good shape. Of course, the ones that have the drop-in bobbin, they're going to have the composite vinyl, what do you call this, plastic, nylon. It's some super space-age material. That's what they told us at Singer, to tell people it was a space-age material. They wouldn't allow us to say the word plastic. Space-age material, that's what it is. So this space-age material, you'll notice that it has in it, and this is a lot of folks don't know this little hole right there. This is your oil hole. That is your oil hole. And when this bobbin case is in place, in position, when you put oil in that little hole there, the top one, the big one, you're right over the main bearing, which has a oiling wick in it. You put a drop in there every 2 bobbins, what I recommend. Now, this machine had a metal bobbin in it when it came in, and it should have a plastic bobbin. It comes with plastic bobbins, and the metal bobbins will work, but they'll throw off your tension, because underneath, in here, underneath the bobbin case, is a magnet, and that magnet keeps the bobbin case from flying up into the air. A little gravity, a little magnet, keeps it from flying up. So if you put a metal bobbin in there, see, it reacts to the metal bobbin, and it'll give it a little extra tension. If it had no thread on it, it'd stick, but it adds a little drag to the bobbin. So use plastic bobbins. They're usually better than the new 15 class anyhow, because they're poured into a mold and not fabricated poorly. So if you pull it out and you see this down underneath, you see that magnet, you know that you have to have a plastic bobbin. And it's a good little machine. It's got a good stout motor. These motors and these things are the motor they use on all these machines, just about. I mean, this is just the standard Standard motor. This is a Kenmore motor, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. So I'm a motor, Matsushita, something like that. But they put this motor in the new Singer Heavy Duty. They put it in Husqvarna's. They put it in Elna's. They put it in Janome's, Juki's. That's just a standard motor. And it's a standard fractional horsepower motor. And it's a good motor. But you don't want to get carried away and try to sew on something too heavy because it has nylon gears. All the machines that have the drop-in bobbins from Kenmore, New Home, Janome, they have the not metal gears, so you have to be careful. This one also, when I got it, had no pressure on top. This is your pressure dial up here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. It was on 0. And I was wondering why the fabric just danced around there. Put the clutch in. Why it danced around and didn't go nowhere. You know, it's just not even going nowhere. Well, for Pete's sake, give it some pressure. I like to keep it just +2 a little bit. 3's a little bit much. Just +2. And it makes a real nice stitch. It's a quality machine, but like all machines, you have to keep it within its limitations, and that's shirts and jammies and blouses and pillowcases. This one, you can sneak an occasional denim or something like that. Just don't get too crazy. Don't get too thick with it. But it's a good, smooth machine. See, when it back stitches, it hits the exact same stitch. It doesn't veer off. That's what a quality machine does. Just as many times as you want to, it hits a nice straight line there. That's pretty impressive. This is a nice little machine, and this customer's going to get it back tomorrow, and she's going to be happy because everything works just like it came out of the box. So a machine like this, if you know what you're doing, you can spend a little time with it, and you get a 100% satisfaction rate because everything works, and you can't ask for any more than that. This is the New Home / Janome / Kenmore / Memory Craft. It's called the SW 2018, and it's a nice little machine. If you find one of these used, take it down and get it serviced and get all those things addressed, or else it won't back up, it won't zigzag, it won't do this, it won't do that. But the potential is there to have a real nice sewing machine. Take it down and give somebody $100 to tune it up, and you'll have a nice machine. All right?